If you have ever moved a dart on a pattern and wondered why the garment suddenly looked different, this video is for you, because a dart is not just a little triangle you close and move around. A dart controls shape. It controls where fabric is removed. It controls how the garment sits around the body. And when you move a dart, you're not just moving a line on paper, you're changing how the fabric behaves on the body. That is why two patterns can start from the same basic block, have the same measurements, and still create very different looking garments. So in this video, I want to explain why moving a dart changes the whole garment, how dart placement affects the final design, and what you should think about before you move darts in your own patterns. Because once you understand this, dart manipulation stops being something you copy from a tutorial, it becomes a design decision. Before we talk about moving darts, we need to understand what a dart is actually doing. A dart removes excess fabric so that a flat piece of fabric can fit around a curved body. That is the simplest explanation. But more specifically, a dart helps the fabric travel from a flatter area into a fuller area. For example, on a bodice, the bust is fuller than the area above it, below it, and beside it. So if you try to place your flat fabric over the bust without controlling that extra fabric, something will happen. You may get gaping, pulling, or bubbling, and you may get fabric collapsing where it should sit smoothly. And the dart helps control that. It tells the fabric, come in here, release here, or shape around this area. So the dart is not for decoration, it is a control measure. And this is why dart placement matters so much, because when you move the dart, you move the place where the fabric is being controlled. One of the biggest mistakes people make with dart manipulation is thinking that when they move a dart, they've removed the dart. But that is not the case, because you have not removed the shaping, you have only relocated it somewhere else. If you close a waist dart and open a side bust dart, the shaping has not disappeared. It has simply moved from the waist area to the side seam area. If you close your shoulder dart and open a neckline dart, the shaping has not disappeared. It has moved to the neckline. If you close a dart and turn it into gathers, the shaping has also not disappeared. It has become fullness. If you close a dart and turn it into a seam, the shaping has not disappeared. It has become a style line. So the question is not just, where can I move this dart? The better question to ask is, where does this design want the shaping to happen? Because different dart positions create different garment results. Let's start with a simple example. A waist dart and a side bust dart can both shape the bust area, but they do not create the same visual effect. A waist dart gives more control from the waist upward. It helps bring the bodice closer to the waist and shape the lower part of the bust. This is why waist darts are common in fitted bodices, dresses, blouses, and garments where you want the waist area to look clean and shaped. A side bust dart controls the bust from the side seam. It directs fabric from the side of the body toward the bust. This can work well when you want bust shaping without having a vertical dart coming from the waist. But the look is different, the direction is different, the fabric control is also different, and the final garments can feel different on the body. So if you are copying a design and you see that the bodice has a very clean waist area, you need to ask, is the waist dart hidden somewhere? Was it moved into a seam? Was it converted into gathers? Was it absorbed into a style line? Or does the design actually need a different kind of shaping? This is where pattern drafting becomes more than just moving lines. You have to understand what the dart is doing for the garments. Now let's talk about darts becoming style lines, and a princess seam is one of the clearest examples of this. When you look at a princess seam, it may feel like a design detail, and yes, it can be, but from a pattern making point of view, it is also doing shaping work. A princess seam can replace a dart because it allows the garment to shape around the bust waist, and torso through a seam instead of a stitched dart. So when you move a dart into a princess seam, you're not just making the bodice look more stylish, you are changing how the garment is controlled, and you are distributing the shaping through a seam. This can give a smoother, more sculpted look. It can also make fitting easier in some designs because seam gives you a place to adjust the garments. But this is also why you cannot treat your style lines as random decoration. If a line passes through an important shaping area like the bust, waist, hip, or shoulder, it may not just be visual, it may be structural, or it may be doing pattern work. So before you copy a style line from a design photo, ask yourself this question: is this line just a design detail, or is this line controlling shape because that difference matters? Another thing that happens when you move that is that that can become fullness. This is where a lot of people get confused. For example, if you close a dart and open the pattern at the neckline, you can create fullness at the neckline. That fullness may then become gathers, pleats, tucks, drape, or a design feature. So again, the dart has not disappeared, the control has changed form. And instead of being stitched as a dart, it is now showing up as a visible fabric volume. This is why some designs look soft, gathered, or draped, but they still came from dart control. The designer did not just add random volume, they redirected the shaping into the area where they wanted the design to release. So when you see fullness in a design, especially around the bust, neckline, waist, or shoulder, do not only ask, how do I add volume? Ask, is this volume coming from that manipulation? Because sometimes what looks like decoration is actually shaping that has been moved. Now let's talk about the dart point. Most dart points point toward the bust area because that is where the fullness is. But the dart usually does not end directly on the bust point in the finished pattern. It stops just before it. The exact distance can depend on the body, the fabric, and the design. But the principle is this: the darts should shape toward the fullness area without creating a sharp point directly on the body. This is important because when you move that, you still need to respect the area the dart is shaping. If the dart direction becomes awkward, the fabric can pull strangely. If the dart is too long, you can get pointy bust. If the dart is too short, you may not get enough shaping for the bust area. If the dart is moved into an area that does not support the design, the garments may look unbalanced. So when you manipulate that, do not only look at the dart legs, look at the body area the dart is shaping. The dart position may change, but the shaping still has to make sense. A common mistake I see people make is trying to remove every visible dart because the inspiration picture does not show that. But just because you cannot see a dart does not mean the garment has no shaping. The dart may be hidden in a seam. It may be moved into a neckline. It may be converted into gathers. It may be absorbed into a panel. It may be controlled through like fabric stretch, like a stretchy fabric. It may be controlled through drape, or it may be managed through internal structure. So if your design picture does not show that, do not immediately assume there is no dart on the garment. Instead, ask yourself this question: where did the shaping go? Because that is the real pattern making question you need to ask. Because if you remove the dart without giving that shaping another place to go, the fabric will still need to respond somehow. And usually it responds by gaping, pulling, bubbling, or collapsing. This is why dart manipulation is not just about making the pattern look cleaner. It is about deciding where the garment should control the fabric. So how do you decide where to move a dart on your pattern? Before moving it, ask yourself these 5 questions. First, where does the body need shaping? For a bodice, this may be the bust, waist, shoulder, neckline, or underarm area. Second, where does the design allow a line, seam, gather, or detail? If the design already has a style line, panel, pleat, or seam, that may be a natural place to move the dart. Third, do I want the shaping to be hidden or visible? A dart can be hidden inside a seam, or it can become a visible design feature. Fourth, should this area look smooth or full? If the design needs a smooth fitted look, you may use a dart, seam, or contouring. If the design needs softness, you may convert the dart into gathers, pleats, or drape. Fifth, will this dart position support the fabric? Because some fabrics can hold shaping sharply, some fabrics collapse softly, some fabrics stretch, some fabrics need more structure. So the dart decision should not only come from the pattern, it should also come from the design and the fabric. And once you ask yourself these questions, that manipulation becomes much clearer because you are no longer moving a dart because someone said move it here. You are moving it because that is where the design needs the shaping to go. This is why I always say that pattern drafting is not just about knowing steps. It is about knowing what the design is asking the pattern to do. When you look at an inspiration picture, you need to read it before you draft it. Where is the garment fitted? Where is it releasing? Where is it shaped? Where is it full? Where is it smooth? Where is the fabric being controlled? Or where has the dart possibly been moved? Because once you answer these questions, you are no longer copying blindly. You are making important pattern decisions. And this is the difference between following a random tutorial and actually understanding how to turn a design into a pattern. So if this is the part of pattern making you struggle with, that is looking at a design and understanding what the pattern needs to do, I have a free design decoding guide you can download. It will help you start analyzing garment designs before drafting. So you're not just guessing where the darts, seams, volume, and shaping should go. I'll leave the link for the guide in the description box down below and also in my comments. And if your bigger struggle is that your foundation blocks are not fitting properly yet, I also have my pattern drafting foundation course linked below in the description box, because strong dart manipulation starts with a strong block. And if your block is not strong, your pattern adaptation becomes harder. So remember this, moving a dart is not just moving a triangle. You are moving control. You are moving shaping. You are changing how the fabric behaves around the body. And that is why dart placement changes the whole garment. And once you understand that, that stop feeling like random pattern markings. They then become one of the most powerful tools you have for turning a design into a pattern. Tap the subscribe button and like button below if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.